Right then, hello and welcome back to TNN Motorsports Hardcore TR. What does the TR stand for? Turnpike Renegades, indeed. Right, so we've completed the arcade mode and now it's time for the championship mode. If you've already seen Max Power Racing, you know exactly what this championship mode entails. Basically, you have the 4x4 Amateur or the Hot Rod Amateur. They are the only two championships you can choose to start with. And then you unlock the 4x4 Pro and Hot Rod Pro later on. You're only given a select number of cars to choose from as well. You can't have every car in the roster. You only pick one car, and that is the only car you can choose throughout the entire championship. So, as always, we're going to do the amateur class first with the 4x4 Amateur. And we only have 3 trucks to choose from. We have the Scorpion, we have the Mudslinger, and we have the Envy. Yes, everything else is locked. I don't know why, but same as in Max Power Racing as well. None of the other cars are available, so I don't even know why they're there, to be fair. So we're going to go for the Envy, just because. And, yeah, so we'll get the first race of 5 underway. And this is starting in Texas. And as always with championships, is they're points based as well, so it doesn't really matter where you finish, as long as you finish well in the points, and at the end of the championship, you're leading the points standings and you win. That is pretty much what this championship is all about. And away we go. Let's get past you. And we'll squeeze past you. Now, these championships are going to be fairly straightforward. As far as I remember, I didn't have much in the way of difficulty with the championships on Max Power Racing, and this game is a lot easier than Max Power Racing as well, so I don't think we'll have any issues whatsoever. He says probably flounders later on, but we'll see. Ooh. And there's the slowdown causing the trucks to not behave as they should. So squeeze by you or not. No, that's fine. But you can see where we were catching up to the lead pack anyway, you know. So it's not like they're flying off into the distance, never to be seen again. No, they are fairly slow and we catch up to them very easily. Case in point, he is just up ahead. So if we can squeeze past this doofer. And there is the leader in the Land Rover-esque looking machine. And we have taken a lead. Simple as that. Now, the amateur class races, there are 2 laps each. The pro class, of course, the same with the arcade mode. When you get into the higher tier, they're going to be 3 laps each, so just slightly longer. And you have 10 races to do on those as well, rather than the 5. So it just elongates the series a little bit. There we go, lap 1 complete. 1 to go. I've already gained a 0.3 of a mile advantage over second place and crashed the car immediately. Looking a little bit dented. The front windscreen though is still intact, which is a shock. The amount of times we've headbutted into pretty much every single wall. I was assuming that the front windscreen would be completely shattered, but no. This truck is very, very quiet, or the music is incredibly loud. One of them. Yeah, I would say the music is incredibly loud. No settings have been changed from the arcade mode, so no idea why it is louder than normal. I shall have to double check to make sure that no settings have been changed from going to arcade mode to championship mode or anything like that. It shouldn't have been. Nice little power slide. Yeah, go on, shred that guitar. Lovely. And there we go, race 1 is complete. And a time of 3:51.33. Will we get a good enough replay? Let's have a look. Well, actually, this will do. It's a decent enough camera angle, and yeah, that'll do. That'll be enough for the replay or the thumbnail, I guess. I don't really care. And as always, the usual. So we're leading at the moment by 10 points to 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1, with the Scorpion at the very bottom. 4 races remaining. And we'll go on to the next race. As you can see, you have no way of changing the car. You just go straight into the next race, which is Arizona track number 1. Which is, what was this one? This was Africa, wasn't it? Africa. In max power and C3. So we'll get underway then. And they start us where we finished the last race, so we're going to be leading. Now usually what racing games do is that if you're doing well in championship, they sort of start you further back to give you a bit more of a challenge, but Max Power Racing was slightly different. If you win the race and leading the championship, they put you where you finished the last race, so of course we're going to be starting on pole position. Which is rather handy, seeing as you don't have any way of qualifying on this game or anything like that, so if you do well, you are given a nice little promotion. And over we go. Rolling immediately. At least we shattered the front windscreen, so we have done a better job this time than we did the previous race. And the lag. Oh, the lovely lag section. And off we go. Bye. That was fun. I think the Land Rover went off as well. Oh no, there he is. But we're still leading. Lap 1 complete. 1 more to go. Oh, and the car is getting squirrely. We'll have to reposition it. It's fine. Actually leading by 0.2 of a mile then as well. In that short little section, we actually pulled out a little gap. Can you believe? Oh, there you go. Oh. Okay. No, you don't. No, you don't. Go on, bugger off. I said bugger off. Go on, get out of it. Now, there's a bit of a problem I found out with the Steam version of this game. Because it is an emulation of the PlayStation 1 game, there is no way to delete your saved game. So I was going to do the run through the game again for the second channel, but there is no way to erase your saved data. And I've looked through everywhere, there's just no way of doing it, so I'm going to have all the races already won and unlocked and everything else, and go through it, you know, like normal. It's just really bizarre that there's no way to delete any of your saved data. But, oh well. It is a pretty shoddy emulation, let's put it. Let's be honest. It's not the greatest emulation on the planet. But there we go, 20 points to 12, 7, 5, 5, and 3. 3 races remaining, and we are now heading to Northern California race number 1. Or track number 1, whichever. Doesn't really matter, does it? Was this Northern California? I think this was Brazil, wasn't it? In Max Power Racing. Ah, yes it is. See, I remember these things now and again. With the swollen river. Over the Danube River or whatever it is. Now we've got a Y junction. We're going to go left or right even. See, my left and right still getting mixed up. Oh, come on. Yeah, getting your left and right mixed up is incredibly common, apparently, for left-handed people. That means I'm, of course, left-handed, but yeah, it's one of those weird phenomenon that you say, oh, I'm going to go left, when actually you mean right, and vice versa. It's one of those little quirks. It's like directional dyslexia, I would call it. It's a bit like saying north, south, east, west as well. East and west I get mixed up. It's like, okay, you're going to go east, so that means you're going to go left, which in reality, no, east is right. It's really weird. But again, it's one of those little things. And again, into the wall. Still got a lap record though, which is, you know, fine and dandy. And now we're going to go left. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? Very. I really don't like how these trucks feel when you brake. There is no grip whatsoever. As you can see, the truck starts doing this weird tank slapper movement. And you just got no grip at all. It just slides all over the place. But coming up to the end of this race, finally, before we go through the lag village, of course. Just the last couple of corners to go. There'll be 3 races, 1 out of 3. And already up to 0.4 of a mile or half a mile from second place. So not too bad, 246.66. I'll move on to the penultimate race in the 4x4 amateur class. But before then, we do have to input our name, like a good little sprog, of course. And there we go, 30 points to 18, 11, 8, 7, and 4. 2 races remaining. And next up is Florida track number 1, which is, of course, Indonesia. And here we go then, through the Florida Keys or Everglades or wherever the hell this is supposed to represent. Not very good with flood water, that is for damn sure. Oh, climbing over the scenery and come to a dead stop. I've noticed something, the further along I've played in this game, the less lag there has been. The first couple of stages or the locations had an awful lot of lag spikes from the game, you know, from the emulation of the PlayStation. later on, you don't get that so much. I noticed that when editing back Norway or Colorado as it was, and Southern California or Monaco. And there was hardly any lag there at all. The game didn't slow down like it does here. It hardly slowed down at all. It was really quite surprising to be able to play the game as it was pretty much intended to, rather than a slow mess that it was at the first half of the game. But oh well. Should be coming up to the end of lap 1. There we go. With a time of 1:30.1. Should take off about 2 seconds from that. So maybe a 1:28 or 1:27. We'll see. Not leading by that much either, only by 0.2 of a mile. Will our luck run out? Will we get a clean sweep of the championship, or will we falter at the last hurdle? Who knows? Seem to be very even though, between 0.1 and 0.2. Of course, the music doesn't help. The music is rather grinding. Well, that makes your ears bleed a little bit. Well, we've gained a little bit of time, 0.3. It flashed up there just for a fraction of a second. Anyway, coming up to the end. That'll be the penultimate race done, and then pretty much we're not going to get caught on points. So this championship is pretty much won. And yeah, a time of 3:10, whatever else it was, and change. And of course, input our name. Yeah, 1:28.3 was our fastest lap time, so I was pretty much correct. I said 1:28, 1:27, something like that. So yeah, we can't be caught now because, yeah, we got 40 points. Bluegrass is second with 24, so the most he could get would be 34, and I would be still miles ahead with 6 points. So, but we don't want to lose on the last race, Louisiana, which is of course Rome. We want to win and get the total 50 points, and then move on to the next championship. I think I'll do both of the amateurs and then go on to the pros afterwards, or I'll do the pro after this one. I don't know. I'll have a think before I record the next one. So. It's funny, I keep forgetting that the corner markers are there, because I don't pay any attention to that at all. I haven't through the whole series. I've just sort of like blanked them out, because I know the track's off by heart anyway. I say that and I go straight into the wall. From playing so much of Max Power Racing, you know, the tracks are, you know, engraved into my brain, so I don't need the corner markers. I just blank them out. And it's a shock now and again when my eyes focus on them. I'm like, oh, they are corner markers. I didn't actually realise. I forgot what the handbrake is. Oh well. Oops. Forgot about the path. There we go. Oh, we were actually second for a moment there. And again, this is where the Roman Colosseum was, and they've just left a blank spot with it. I think it's like a power station in the background. They could have had at least something a bit more decent there, I don't know. This is supposed to be Louisiana, so they could have had like, I don't know, one of those steamboats that used to be like a cabaret on water. That would have been really cool if they could like model that and have that in the background, but no, just a blank spot. Alright, coming up to the end of the first lap, and all the GIF images. A bar and a little glass and everything else. There you go, time of 1:55.7, so I reckon it'll be about 1:52.5. Maybe even less than that, because we did go into the wall a couple of times. I'll try not to do that again. Like so. Oh, the lag's back. Nice. Navigated that pretty well. It's really horrible how the audio clips, because there's so much... The game is trying to render or to play at the same time, so you got like the engine noises and the music and everything, and all you're getting is just like this garbled mess, which... Thankfully, the music does kind of, you know, cover a little bit. But when you got earphones in, you can hear it really clearly, and it's just this garbled, horrible, bassy mess of noise. It is not very pleasant listening, that's for damn sure. Oh. I told you we go into the wall, but oh well. Oh, there was that lag spike there. Again, that's not the system that can handle this game. It can handle, a mobile phone. A Nokia 3310 could play this game. It is the emulation that Steam or Console Classics, whatever name they went under, that they were trying to do. We had a 1:48 there, so we were like 10 seconds faster. But yeah, it's Console Classics. What emulator they try to use and then put it on Steam, it's not a very good one. It just lags and slows down in places. It's bloody awful. But there we go. We get the full 50 points. And that is the season complete. And there we go. Congratulations. You are the 4x4 Amateur Champion. Thank you very much. And what do we get for that? Absolutely sod all. You got next season? So, actually, we'll do the 4x4 Pro next, and then we'll go on to the Hot Rod Amateur afterwards. So, yeah, that was, well, the 4x4 Amateur class. Again, it was very easy. The Pro is going to be just as easy, I think, and the other two at the end are going to be as easy as well. So, I will be back next time then with the 4x4 Pro, and, yeah, tune back in for that next time. So, thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you all then. Bye for now.